Welcome to the Purple Positivity Podcast for April the 23rd, 2018. Happy birthday, William Shakespeare. Yay! That's such a nerdy thing to say. I am your host, the amazingly adorable and lit nerdy Rebecca Thistle, podcasting to you live-ish from my kitchen/dining room table in my apartment, which I call Jeffrey Thistlework. Yes. So, I'm about to talk about some pretty heavy shit, and it's pretty traumatic for me, and I'm not going to go into a lot of really great detail about it, I don't think, because I'm not ready to. I should be, but I'm not. And, so I kind of feel like I have to issue a trigger warning that, I'm going to be talking about some things that some of you may or may not be sensitive to, so I know that's such a, liberal thing to do, like, oh my gosh, really? Yeah, but, I don't want somebody inadvertently stumbling across this show and going, oh my god, I didn't know she was going to talk about that. So, trigger warning. Okay, now that I've done that, that's actually kind of for me. So I did something yesterday that is either really, really brave or really, really stupid. And I'm not entirely sure how to feel about it. And if you listened to Friday's show, you know that feelings are problematic for me to begin with. So, so I did something that's either really, really brave or really, really stupid. So I've been kind of obsessing about it for, well, I guess I did it Saturday night or something. And so I've been obsessing about it for the past 24 hours or so. And I don't know how to feel. I still don't know how to feel. But I thought about something that I did almost 11 and a half years ago that was also really, really brave or really, really stupid. And I kind of want to share that because, like I said, I don't want to go into too much great detail because it was very traumatic for me and it's not something I like to spend time thinking about because then I want to curl up in a ball and die, which is not a healthy way of thinking. So, I was sexually assaulted at the end of 2006. The short version of the story was I was walking to a bus stop. I was exhausted because I'd been running around all fucking day. And this guy pulled over and said, would you like a ride? And I was like, yeah, sure. Because ultimately my goal was to get to a grocery store like a mile down the road. So I was like, yeah, sure, assuming that he was a good Samaritan. What ended up happening was he ended up sexually assaulting me. And leaving me in the middle of a field with no idea where I was. And it was a very horrifying experience on so many levels. But I reported it to the police. And I went through the process of pressing charges and telling my story over and over and over again to God only knows how many police officers, to a nurse at the hospital, actually I think a couple of nurses at the hospital, to my parents, to the DA, to the jury, to the second jury, to therapists, and it was a very difficult thing to do. And I can't tell you how many times I felt like I'd made the wrong choice in reporting it. I felt stupid. I actually had people tell me that I deserved what happened to me because I was stupid. But at the same time, I had people telling me that it was really, really, really brave to do that. And, you know, and with the benediction of hindsight now, over a decade later, I choose to remember it as a moment of strength and bravery. I was scared shitless, I'm not gonna lie. And it was really hard. It was really hard to do. But in the end, this person was sentenced to 35 years because of what he did to me. I later found out he had other charges pending against 3 other underage girls. Now, I was 20 at the time, and if I look like I'm 20 now, like I mean, people tell me all the time that I look like I'm in my early 20s. I must have looked like I was in my late teens at the time, so apparently he has a type. Excuse me. But in any event, I don't know what happened with those other charges. But I know if he was convicted on any of them, the minimum sentence that he would have gotten for each charge would have been 20 years. So, who knows? He may spend the rest of his life in prison because of these decisions that he made. And it started partially because I chose to speak up against something that was wrong, that I knew was wrong. So, going back to what I did Saturday night, I can't really talk openly about it because it could really fuck up my life. I mean, I'm not joking about this. It could really fuck up my life. But I can't keep totally silent anymore because what is going on in this situation is wrong. It is so wrong on so many levels, and it doesn't just affect me. It doesn't just affect me. It affects a lot of other people. And so I'm grappling with it because, you know, there's a real sense of self-preservation that kicks in where you're like, no, you know, I've got to do what I've got to do to take care of myself and my kid and get the fuck out of Abilene. You know, I gotta do what I gotta do in order to survive. But at the same time, if I continue to survive, does that make me complicit in the fucked upness that I see going on? And so, yeah, I'm terrified. I'm not even going to lie, I'm terrified. And, if you listen to Friday's show, there's a part of me that wants to be ashamed of being scared. How dare you be scared? If you're so scared, then stop doing what you're doing. Don't talk about it. Don't do this. But at the same time, I'm excited. Not because, yay, there's something fucked up going on and I get to get some attention about it. No, I'm excited because if I speak up and I do what I'm doing, if I continue on this path, then there could be some real change towards the positive, and it may come at a cost to me. But I'm gonna be okay. Everything's gonna work out. So, and there's a lot of situations in this world that are like this, where, you can speak up and stand up for what is right, and it'll fuck up your life, but ultimately lead to some changes that are for the better in the long run. Or you can stay quiet. And are you being brave or are you being stupid? On either end, really. Does it take strength to stay silent? Or does it take strength to speak up? I don't know. I think it's a little bit of both. But I guess at the end of the day, I have to do, and just like anybody else, I have to do what I know is right. And even though it may fuck up my life in the short term, I have to believe that in the long term, it'll make things better. Not just for other people, but for me. At a cost, because everything comes at a cost. And I was thinking about this morning. Everything comes at a price. I was thinking about Harry Potter and the Iron Druid Chronicles. I know, I'm a nerd. But no, I was specifically thinking about in book series, when you have that big epic battle at the end of it, and ultimately you want your protagonist to have their happy ending. But if it's a good book series, that happy ending comes at a cost, It comes at a price, at a huge price, or it should. There are some book series, I'm looking at you, Twilight, where the protagonist gets what they want, and at no cost. And it's no, that is not how it works. That is not how it works. That's not how it works in real life. That's not how it works in good fiction. I'm just saying. But so I guess the point that I'm trying to make is I'm scared, but I'm excited. And feeling anything is problematic for me. Go listen to Friday's show for why.